All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to tackle a term that probably makes you think of just one thing: spam. We're talking about the email blast, but we're going to explore what it really is and, more importantly, how you can actually do it right. I mean, this is the first question on everyone's mind, isn't it? The second you hear email blast, you picture a cluttered inbox full of junk you never asked for. It's a totally fair question, and for a lot of marketers out there, the answer is, well, yeah, pretty much. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be that way. The truth is, an email blast can be an incredibly powerful and effective tool. The key isn't if you use it, it's all about how you use it. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack. But before we get to the right way, we really need to understand what usually goes so wrong. So let's start with the core problem with most email blasts. This quote from Nupur Mittal at Mailmodo, it just hits the nail on the head. It's that classic spray and pray approach, right? Marketers treat it like a pure numbers game, firing off one message to thousands of people, just hoping something, anything, will stick. And as she points out, more often than not, it just lands right in the trash. And the fallout goes way, way beyond just a few ignored emails. You get high bounce rates. That means your emails aren't even getting delivered. Then come the spam complaints, which basically tells email providers that you're a bad actor. All of this just tanks your domain reputation. Think of it like a credit score for your email. And a bad score means even your good emails might not get through. Worst of all, you're just frustrating the very subscribers you were trying to reach in the first place. Okay, so this brings us to a really fundamental difference in strategy. To get this right, you absolutely have to understand how a blast is different from a targeted campaign. Honestly, this distinction is everything. So what is a blast? You'll hear it called a mass email, a broadcast, a bulk email, but at its core, it's the simplest form of sending email. It's one message sent to one large list all at the same time. The key word here is unsegmented. The list isn't broken down, there's no real targeting involved. It's one size fits all. Now let's put them side by side, because it makes it super clear. The purpose of a blast: it's usually a one-time announcement to a broad audience. It's all about that immediate impact, like a flash sale. A campaign, on the other hand, is the long game. It's about engagement. It uses specific, segmented audiences and focuses on building a relationship, not just making a single sale. You know, here's probably the best way to think about it. An email blast is a giant fishing net. You cast it out as wide as you can and just hope you catch something, anything. But an email campaign? That's a fishing rod. It's precise. You're using the exact right bait to catch a very specific kind of fish in a very specific spot.
Okay, so we've got our net and we've got our rod. So, when is it actually smart to use the net? Let's talk about the right times to use a blast.
Blasts are your go-to tool when you need to create urgency or get one message out to everybody fast. We're talking limited time offers, big announcements for a new product, or major company news. They are the absolute wrong tool for building relationships or sending niche messages. For a blast to really work, the message has to be something that's genuinely relevant to pretty much everyone on your list. So you've looked at your goal and you decided a blast is the right tool for the job. Fantastic. Now, how do you do it without getting flagged as spam? Let's walk through the framework for getting it right. It really boils down to 3 simple steps. Get these right, and you're already miles ahead of the game. First, you strategize. Then you create. And finally, and this is so important, you test. Step 1, strategize, is without a doubt the most important. A blast without a clear goal is just noise. The source material emphasizes using the SMART framework, which is perfect. So your goal isn't some vague idea like boost sales. No, it's a specific, actionable plan, like achieve 200 Black Friday sales in 7 days by sending an email blast to our 10,000 subscribers. You see the difference? That's a strategy. We've covered the what, the when, and the how. But what's that one element that often makes the biggest difference? The thing that separates a blast that works from one that gets ignored. Let's look at the single most important part of this whole thing. According to Vaibhav Kakkar, an email blast with the wrong subject line is simply dead on arrival. And that's because the subject line is the gatekeeper, right? It's the first and maybe the only thing your recipient will see. Creating curiosity and urgency right there in that one line makes all the difference in the world. And this isn't just theory. The data shows that changing a generic subject line to something engaging can result in a 47% higher open rate. 47%. That's the power of just a few well-chosen words. So when you boil it all down, the email blast itself isn't the problem. The lack of strategy is. That thin line between a valued message and junk mail is simply the thought you put in before you hit send. And that brings us to our final thought. As you think about communicating with your own audience, ask yourself this question. What's in your toolbox right now? Are you relying on a wide, hopeful net, or are you using a precise, targeted fishing rod? Knowing which one to use and when, that makes all the difference.